Hi everyone, welcome to OET Success. In today's video, I have taken a case note and I am going to explain you all how to analyze a case note and write your letter. So you need to analyze your case note and select the contents from the case note based on the reader and the purpose of the letter. So how to do that? So it is a very confusing stage, or it is very confusing for majority of the students. So let's see the major steps in OET letter writing and how to apply it in your exam. Okay, so let's see first the steps in OET letter writing. So you will have 40 minutes for your OET letter writing and 5 minutes you should completely utilize for your reading. Okay, so you can read the case note and writing task during that 5 minutes, and remaining 35 minutes you can start writing your letter and complete it. So during that 5 minutes preparation time, what you need to do or how to utilize those 5 minutes time in your OET letter writing. So there are 4 steps which you need to know before preparing for OET letter writing. So when you get the case note, you need to first read the writing task and analyze it. Okay, the first step is analyzing the writing task. How to analyze a writing task? You need to read the writing task properly and you need to find out who is the reader and the purpose of the letter. So these 2 things will be given in your writing task. Okay, sometimes you will not see your purpose in your writing task, like the purpose of the letter in your writing task. In that case, you should identify from the case note or the discharge plan. So the first step is analyzing the writing task, and the second step is selection of case note. So you have already analyzed who is the reader and the purpose of the letter. So based on the reader and the purpose, you need to select content from the case note. And the next step is organizing the case note. So already you have selected the contents and now you need to organize it in appropriately in your you need to find out, or you need to plan where to write all these contents in your letter. So that is called as organization. So organizing the case note is very important. So you have organization, layout and all, you have marks, it is a criteria, it is one of the criteria for your OET letter writing. So the third step is organizing the case note, and the fourth one is transformation. So you have planned how to organize the case note. Now you need to transform those planning in your answer sheet. Okay, so these are the 4 things you need to do when you get 5 minutes preparation time. So first you need to analyze the writing task, then you need to select the contents from the case note, then you need to organize and transform it in your letter. Okay, so now we will take one letter or one case note and I will tell you how to analyze the case note and how to select the case note based on the reader and the purpose of the letter. So here I have taken a case note. The patient name is Alexander Johns. Okay, so as I have told, whenever you get a case note, you need to first read the writing task. Okay, so now let's read the writing task or analyze the writing task and find out what's the purpose or whom we are writing this letter to. So in this writing task here, they have given you are the charge nurse. So our title or our role is given in your writing task. You are the charge nurse. So we are the charge nurse on the hospital ward where Mr. Johns has recently had his operation. So Mr. Alexander Johns is a patient name and he had an operation recently where we work as a nurse, right? So now, using the information provided in the case notes, write a referral letter to the community nurse supervisor at the community nursing center, Ashfield, who will be attending to Mr. Johns following his discharge. So here, from this writing task, you can understand it is a referral letter, right? And we are writing this letter to a community nurse supervisor at the community nursing center. So we are writing this letter to a nurse. Okay, so we can, from this case note, we identified the patient name and our role and what type of letter it is and whom we are writing this letter to. Okay, So first you should analyze all these things from your writing task. In this writing task, the purpose of the letter is not given. So in that case, you need to understand and analyze the case note, and you need to find out what is the purpose of the letter. Okay. So now we'll go to the case note. So when we take case note, here hospital name is given, Royal Prince Alfred Hospital. Patient details, Alexander Johns, 65 years old, marital status divorced, next of kin no living relatives, ex-wife to be contacted in case of emergency. Okay, and her address is given, admission date and discharge date is given, diagnosis is given, patient's past medical history is given. Then social history, patient is a retired postman, he lives alone in a rented flat, he smokes less than 10 cigarettes, drinks and all that is given. Then his hobbies are given, right? Then coming to medical progress, he had a removal of basal cell carcinoma, he never admitted to hospital previously, medications are given, and nursing management, wound management, he is fully alert on discharge, he walks with the aid of crutches, hygiene self-managed, continence self-managed, daily dressing, daily observation, medication to be continued for a week. All these things are given, right? So now let's see what are the, okay, now let's see the purpose. Okay, let's find out what is the purpose of the letter. So here this patient had undergone a surgery, removal of basal cell carcinoma. In discharge plan, after discharge, what the reader is supposed to do is given, right? Daily dressing, daily observation, medication to be continued, right? So all these things should be done by the nurse whom we are writing this letter to. So from this discharge plan, we can understand, the patient, the nurse should do care, the nurse should provide care and observation, right? Or monitoring. Okay. So the purpose of this letter will be continuing care and monitoring, or continuing care and assistance, you can say. Because why continuing is nothing but because whatever the hospital was doing, the reader has to continue, right? Daily dressing they were doing, that the reader has to continue. Daily observation they have to continue, and they have to monitor their medication and continue, advise the patient to continue their medications. So we should write continuing care and monitoring. Okay, so here the purpose will be continuing care and monitoring. So this nurse is supposed to care for this patient and monitor him. Okay. Now, based on the purpose and the reader, let's select the contents from the case note. Okay. So here you can see hospital name. So hospital name you can always write at the end of your letter. Okay. So we can consider it as a relevant point. Then Alexander Johns, patient name, relevant. 65 years old is relevant, right? Then marital status, divorced. Next of kin, no living relatives. These two are not so important, right? Then ex-wife to be contacted in case of emergency. That is important, right? If anything emergency happens, they have to contact his ex-wife. So that is important. Her address also is important. Admission date and discharge date is important. Diagnosis of the patient important. Past medical history is given. But what is given? No prior hospitalization, no known allergies, no known medication. Everything is everything is nil, right? No prior hospitalization, no allergies, no previous medications. So no need to mention that in your letter. Okay, you no need to mention whatever is not there for your patient. Okay. Then regarding social history, you can write he's a retired postman, lives alone in the rented flat, that also you can write. Then he smokes and drinks, right? That also is relevant. Then fair skin, Roman Catholic and all is not required. No home aids installed by occupational therapist, not required. Friends, local, okay, semi-relevant, but it's not actually required. Good relationship with ex-wife, this is required because we are writing about his ex-wife, right? Then regarding medical progress, All these things are important, right? No, never admitted to hospital previously, that is not required. Then nursing management, fully alert on discharge, important. He walks with the use of crutches. So during discharge, what is the patient progress is given here, so that is very important. In discharge plan, daily dressing, daily observation is important. Medication should be continued, right? That also is important. Okay, so these are the relevant details from the case note based on the reader and the purpose. Okay, so now how we will write the letter. So in introduction, we have already got the purpose and patient name we know, and the diagnosis also is given, right? Patient already had undergone a surgery. So in introduction, you have to write three things: patient full name, purpose of the letter, and patient diagnosis or the reason problem. So here you can just write, I am writing to refer Mr. Alexander Johns, who underwent removal of basal cell carcinoma. He requires continuing care and monitoring. Introduction is over. In the first body paragraph, you can write from the time patient got admitted to the hospital till the patient get discharged, or till we are writing today, we are writing the letter. So till today, what's the patient condition or whatever we have done to the patient. So you can just write Mr. Johns was admitted to hospital on 10 May 2006 and underwent the surgery. Post-operatively, he has been managed with Panadin for 500 mg. Medication is given here, right? Then you can continue with currently, right? Currently, he is fully alert and walks with the use of crutches, and all that you can write. Then you can write past medical and social history. In that, you can just write Mr. Johns is a retired postman and lives alone in a rented flat. He smokes and drinks. That amount you can write there. Then he has a good relationship with his ex-wife. She needs to be contacted in case of any emergency. And you can also write her address there, or you can also write address in the discharge paragraph. Okay. Then after that, discharge plan, what the reader is supposed to do. So what they are supposed to do, you can just write there, kindly provide daily dressing and daily observation. Please continue her medication for a week, then whenever necessary. That you can also combine with the medication when you write in the first body paragraph. Okay, so this is how you need to analyze the case note and select the contents and organize it appropriately. So you should always write presenting complaints in one paragraph, past medical and social history in another paragraph, and what the reader is supposed to do next or in future you need to write in another paragraph. So you need to divide these paragraphs and organize it according to the purpose and the reader of your letter. Okay, so these are all about analysis or the stages of your OET letter writing. I hope you all understood whatever I have explained to you. So if you liked it, please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching. Bye.